Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Spy Family episode, sorry, I almost drooled on myself. Who does that nowadays? But so, episode, season 2, episode 6, there you go, slash, 31. And I'm really enjoying this storyline on this whole cruise ship, you know, this whole arc on this cruise ship, and I'm really enjoying it now because it gets more just on family vacation. Now just dealing with, which I thought it was only one assassin, but it turns out it's a whole bunch of assassins, you know, and it's like some family vacation, right? So, but anyway, that and Leslie was for the most part it's only on Yor and the assassin and her trying to present the assassins. Like while protecting, right? They're even when they're being followed. Like the director who's in charge, you know, with Yor and everyone else, right? I mean, he's an old guy though, but I'm like, damn, this guy's got moves still. He's still full of energy still for an old man, because, goddamn, Nick nose itching, goddamn. Like when the family is walking back, right? You know, for like he knows they're being followed by this one guy, right? So he sneaks off and gets this one guy, like, kind of like breaks his arm or dislocates his shoulder. In his hand over his mouth, right? It's like, give me a answer yes or no, right? But like, I'll get answer yes. How can he answer yes or no when you're covering his mouth, right? And he's asking how many are there of you, right? And you just hear the bones crack, you know. I'm like, ooh, you know. I mean, I hear several bones crack, but how the way it was presented in this scene, where it's like, ooh, you know, just hearing that is like a little cringy for me here, like when we first, and then he goes and breaks the guy's leg, and the guy falls, and he's asking how many are of you, and the guy doesn't answer though. He's saying first come, first serve, and then off screen you hear just like he broke his neck, right? I'm like, damn, you know, this old man's got moves still. So just goes and drags that body away, and then and it's like this whole thing. Because even though for the first time we see is of Yor's co-workers who works at City Hall, right? They're all having a girls' time at a table, right, in some place, right? And one of the workers is like, "Oh, Yor gets to go on a cruise ship, you know," but the one who's also works with her is like, "It's not. It's business, you know. It's business deal, business like, right?" So, and then afterwards, like when the Yor is back with the woman and her baby, right? And you can see probably maybe because, you know, how Yor has become more, you know, motherly, you know. Maybe you can say that she's softened up, you know. Maybe you can say her skills are probably again a little bit sloppy because she's not being the top assassin that she was. Because for instance, like when they're in their cabin, right, and in the room, and there's a knock on the door, and she goes loose to the people. It's room service, right? I'm like, she automatically fully believes it's room service before the woman says, "I didn't order any." Now, and then before she quickly grabs the woman down before the guy starts shooting through the door, I'm like, she is kind of like a little bit slipping a bit, you know, because she would have thought just automatically believe that's room service right away, right? Taking any precautions, like maybe this guy's not room service, you know. But she fully believed it at first before the guy starts shooting through the door, right? Until she grabs him and holds him down. And before the guy starts shooting again, the old guy, the director, he starts throwing darts at the guy. So I was like, oh, did you take that from the bar? So he goes and throws the darts at the guy, and then that's when Yor throws one of her weapons through the door right to the guy's head. I'm like, yeah, she is getting a little bit, you know, soft and sloppy, you know, for a top assassin like her, though. Probably because, you know, stuff her, you know, being like a, you know, yes, fake family, though, but still. I mean, it's like when, you know, Twilight, he's being, like, when we cut to a Twilight, you know, he's like overthinking everything, you know, because there might be some plant trackers everywhere, right? And He's just probably more just overthinking everything while he's supposed to enjoy, you know, being a father with his kid on a cruise ship, right? It's like him, you know, like he's like being overly cautious, and like even she's kind of like letting her guard down a bit, you know, for being a top assassin like her, right? So there is a lot more assassins because we see them, a whole bunch of them gather outside on a deck, right? And one guy stupidly says, "Well, we just annihilate every woman and baby, right?" And just two guys goes and stabs him, and then just tosses him overboard. It's like we don't want to make it not too conspicuous, right? So you have to do it like low key, you know, not causing any disturbances. So all these assassins are on board, and then the guy who is like we saw in the ending of the last episode, given the info or an intel, right, over on the radios. So over here is that they're going to change rooms. So the director has your escort them to another part of the ship, right? And so the one where they're coming through is a place or a room that has like a masquerade party, right? Wearing, you know, party masks and stuff, right? So they put on these masks to disguise themselves, and in the midst there is some assassins in there. One guy thinking he could try to get the jump on her. I think I haven't noticed so. And you're going to take the button from from the fake husband, right? Takes the button from his coat and just goes and taps it and just knocks the guy out. And then there's a waiter standing there saying, "Hey, I guess you've had too much to drink, right?" So yeah, he just takes him out with a button, not killing him though, but just taking him out. And then another guy who tries to make a move. And then she goes up, makes like a dance. "Oh, pardon me, will you dance with me?" "Will you dance with me?" "Oh, I'm sorry. I mentioned I'm married." She goes and breaks the guy's hands. And then knocks him out too. I'm like, okay, now she's being a little more cautious now, but just before, you know, she was acting a little bit sloppy there. But breaks the guy's hands, knocks him out. And then while they're think they're in the clear now, we cut back with Twilight, Lloyd, and Anya. And Anya wants like this little skeleton keychain, right? And it's like I'm not getting that. It's just Anya being Anya is like, "I want it," and then she's rolling on the floor. I want it. And then like just like Lloyd, you know, he's just like overthinking everything. Like, oh, there's these transplants, you know, and he's just basically overthinking everything, you know, and it's because there's these people are looking, because this kid, your kid wants something, you know, and he's like realizing, yeah, he's supposed to be a cheery father on a cruise ship with his kid, right, not being this overly cautious spy. He's because afraid of getting exposed, and Anya's just reading his mind, all this other stuff, right, and like, oh, why don't you try on these clothes, right, and at first like Twilight, Lloyd doesn't want to, but remember, okay, he's on a vacation, so he says, "Okay, I'll go and try these on." And while Anya sees her mom walking, right, and then there's this big guy walking by with what's called a sickle and the sickle and chain, right, and she doesn't want to cause any distractions, you know, afraid like either. Because if Yor does something, she's afraid that Lloyd will see her. "Oh, you're an assassin," you know. She doesn't want to cause anything like that, right? To keep identities a secret. So while he's in the change room, she was going to go do something. But when the guy, which I guess that Yor didn't sense because of, I guess, bloodlust, you know, he didn't have any like violent intent at first when they were walking by. Then all of a sudden, pulls out the sickle and chain. Right in the split second, because she didn't notice any violent intentions for him until like the last second. So, and while Anya is watching, so, but it was overall very fun. Once again, very fun episode. I think it's still a good mixture of the humor as usual. It never stops being comedy gold on a lot of levels, right? But also like the whole story of this Yor doing this whole protection thing instead of killing, right? But like so she did get like a little bit, let her guard down. Like as soon as I had one guy who's room service, right? It was like she didn't. She fully believed that right away. I'm like, that's not Yor. She's always been so, you know, precautious as a top assassin, you know. But she did manage to kill the guy with tossing his her weapon into his head. Even the old guy, the director, even his badass too, like just breaks that guy's arm and leg, and then ultimately snaps the guy's neck. It's crazy hearing those bones snap. Like ooh. And then Thursday when she's throwing at the room service guy, he's the guy who's throwing darts at him as well. So this guy still has plenty of energy, even for an old man, right? But yeah, it was still very fun. It was still very fun. So I'm enjoying this part of the storyline right here. So it has been really enjoyable. Once again, it never fails. It never fails to impress me. I'm always having a lot of fun. Of just loving the show a lot. So it just never ceases to amaze me. I still really love the show, and I'm been improving a lot with more on the humor and more on the situations and action wise, yes, as well, and just more with good character development as well. Yeah, we won't have Bond or Frankie though, but still. But it was still a really good, once again, very great episode. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, you wouldn't want to go on a vacation with these people, right? On a cruise ship. So yeah. But anyway, yeah. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time. Later.